This Bethany Village is not just an institution of the church. It is true that it is a great institution, and we are grateful for the great achievement which has been accomplished by Dr. Myers and the committees which have been active here. But this is more than an institution of the church. This is the church. This is Bethany Village and a contemporary maintenance of the meaning of Bethany. Bethany, which was the place of rich friendships, meditation, and concern, the reality of prayer, the place of God's healing power, the expression of the quality of life that shall endless be, of service to Christ in food, in anointing, in the beauty of fellowship. Here was the place of recreation. Here was the spot that was near to heaven. So is Bethany Village.
We're standing here today to celebrate 50 years of Bethany Village on the shoulders of folks who had a vision about providing an exceptional senior community in central Pennsylvania.
Bethany Village came into being about 1964, and I just saw the things that they were planning and the thinking ahead, and I thought, boy, that's good.
Some leaders and interested persons from the local Methodist churches had a beginning vision about Bethany Village and what Bethany Village would be.
And I think it's a basis of the community itself. When it was formed, it was faith-based. It still is.
I've been a United Methodist all my life, so I learned about Bethany Village when the church asked for offerings for Bethany Village.
And we knew about Bethany Village since its beginning, because we lived all but locally. We grew up about 7 miles away from here. We had visited people before we moved here, of course, the people that we knew.
I had a friend who lived here, and one of the very first residents who came to Bethany Village. And this friend of mine was the very first librarian, and it was very different from what it is now.
And so here we are today, and with lots of good things happening.
We have in our family ministers, missionaries, teachers, writers, builders, businessmen and women, nurses, homemakers, and others. There are those who continue an active ministry, and there are those who stand by as prayer helpers. For each member of our family, God has a purpose and mission, and we do dedicate ourselves to helping each other find fulfillment in living here where we have chosen to call it home.
Bethany Village has always been fortunate to have a close relationship to our faith heritage and to have really wonderful leaders through the years. And the residents at Bethany Village have always been very engaged in the community and very supportive of each other. Bethany Village is one of my favorite places.
Well, some of my perspective came while I was a pastor, and I had opportunity to be in a lot of retirement communities or nursing homes, visiting parishioners. And Bethany stood out with excellence, just a great environment. You could tell that those who were living here, or the parishioners I visited, sensed to have had a very positive attitude about life.
I think most people look up to the people that are here, and as being part of the community, I think they feel like it's an asset to the community.
Community is people caring about other people, whether they know them or well, or whether they don't know them as well, or just know them by name.
The real key to community and what Bethany has meant to me is that the day I moved here, I knew I was home, and it's treated me like it's my home, and I've tried to treat it in the same manner.
We are assembled on this happy occasion, break ground for a new healthcare center, including a nursing unit and clinic, and to set aside this ground as sacred to the high purpose for which it is designed. Let us not doubt that God will favorably approve our high purpose. May the walls of this building, as they rise in beauty, offering security to all who shall reside here, remind us anew that we are laborers together with God. We invite you to join with us wholeheartedly as we seek to achieve our goal.
Bethany Village is home. It's home for our residents. It's the second home for our associates.
When I was growing up, my mother worked as an RN supervisor in the skilled nursing for 20 years. She used to bring me to Bethany when I was a wee little kid getting my community service, and I would meet with the residents, volunteer here with the residents.
What makes it nice for me to come to work here is the associates and the fun that I have with them, but the relationships that I develop with the residents.
To me, what makes Bethany Village special are the associates, how they mingle with the residents, how we all get along, actually almost like a family.
The residents here are they're like my parents or like my grandparents, and they have such wonderful stories.
Just listening to their experiences, working with them on a day in and day out basis, making sure that they have what they need to make them happy.
Always fascinating to hear something new that I never knew about in history, or a funny joke that they have. I could not think of another place that I have worked or would want to work that shows the compassion and the love that this place shows.
It is right and proper that buildings erected for such service in the name of God should be formally and devoutly set apart for their special uses. For such a dedication, we are now assembled. And as the dedication of these facilities is in vain without the solemn dedication of those whose labor they represent, let us now give ourselves anew to the service of God. Our souls, that they may be renewed after the image of Christ. Our bodies, that they may be fit temples of the Holy Spirit, and our labors and ministries, that they may be in harmony with God's holy will. Bring glory to His name and advance His kingdom in this place.
When I first started working at Bethany Village in the late 1990s, my main job was to try to appease the people on the waiting list. The waiting list was 10 years long at that point, and people were frustrated because they wanted in here and we couldn't get them in.
And we watched Bethany grow. We watched the court grow. The court was just new when we moved here. It's just been a learning and growing experience at Bethany.
And I noticed that it's always beautiful, always comfortable, and I just enjoy it. I enjoy being at Bethany Village, and I'm very happy that I chose to come here.
Dear friends, now that Bethany Village has completed this newest chapter of its journey, let us dedicate the growth of our community, along with our profound sense of joy and thanksgiving, to those who are enjoying this new experience, discovering a renewed sense of community, and who are contributing to lasting relationships and friendships. For those who had the vision, secured the land, and gave thoughtful consideration to the needs of those who will be served here. For the peace, security, and comfort that are available to those who have made Bethany Village their choice for their present and future. For the generations of tomorrow, who will find the spirit of our campus, its community, and its countless opportunities an ongoing source of inspiration.
My history here at Bethany goes back to 2000. It was neat to see the plans, the building plans for the building we're in now, the West Campus, to be anticipating the new bricks and mortar and all the amenities that we'd have here with the pool and the nice apartments and cottages.
I mean, in the mornings we could hear the chuk of the tearing up the stones and everything that they did in preparation. I mean, I think they used a lot of the stones in their building. And so we watched it go up, and it was just amazing to see it go up.
Construction wasn't completed until 2004, but we were sold out in 2002, which was just a really cool thing that so many people wanted to be at Bethany. It was easy to sell the new community.
Our community grew. It almost doubled in size, and it just increased the size of our family and the family of our residents and associates.
Bethany Village means to me the opportunity to explore who I am and who I still want to be. I love reading, I love writing, and I've been able to do a lot more of that since I've been here and been free of a lot of the responsibilities that one has when you are a homeowner.
Well, basically, actually, how I got here was through my son's father-in-law. And I just came to look at his apartment, and I thought, well, I can live here. I mean, very simply, I felt right at home.
Well, I had heard talk about how nice it is and how wonderful it is, and I should move. And I just couldn't make that move. I was in a condo at the time. And I now know that they were right. I should have moved quicker even, because it's wonderful here.
I've known Bethany Village for a while because my father came here in 2000, and I thought if he came up here, he'd be looked after, taken care of. He was still happy. He got around in his wheelchair, and when he couldn't, the staff was there to help him.
Bethany Village is a special place because of the people. That's what makes the community. It's the people, the residents here, and the associates.
Everyone is friendly, and when we came looking at Bethany, it just felt like the right fit. We had looked at other places and just didn't work for us, and they made us feel welcome here.
We've been from day one welcomed heartily by fellow residents. We've formed friendships in a period of 4 years that I never expected to find, and it's been a pleasure.
We are very deliberate about listening to the needs and expectations of people that we serve today. We're also very deliberate about listening to the needs and expectations of people that we will serve in the future. The family members of our residents of today will be our residents in the future. And so we listen closely to those family members. We listen closely to our board members and other professionals in the area who are also changing and adapting to the environment in which we're operating in.
What lies ahead? That's a very important question. And it's still being decided day by day and moment by moment. But this will be a growing community.
And Bethany Village always strives to keep up with the time to provide what our residents want.
And we're in a time with regulations changing, with societal attitudes changing, where we are going to have to change the way we're doing business.
Because there are 10,000 people reaching age 65 every day, in 10 or 15 years, the need for the type of community that we have will be tremendous.
I have said to the staff here a few months ago, I was quoting Dr. Leonard Sweet, saying that there is no present. What we live on is the overlap between what was and what will be. And that says we can never forget where we came from, but we always have to keep our eye on where we're going.
It's a situation where we have to take a look at not where we want to be 5 or 10 years from now, but depending on healthcare, where we have to be. And I'm confident with the staff, the leadership that we have, that we'll be there.
We have our eye on where we're going, and it's going to be quite different from where we've been. But who we are, who we've been, that's not going to change. That love, that commitment, that caring for one another, that community setting, that's going to stay there.
There is that richness of heritage of, like John Wesley said, do all the good to all the people you can, all the time you can, and whenever you can, everywhere you can. That's still a driving force of the mission here. And you see that played out from top of the administration throughout the community.
But we will find ways to expand that community, to provide more and better services to that community, and to approach life in not a piecemeal manner, but a holistic manner. Bethany
Now, to me, is an experience. It's not just a location or place. It is really an experience of life. And I've been surprised by that, and very happy to be surprised and grateful.